it's such a proud moment to have you join us here on HBO Go in the Philippines screening. And we'd love to hear, of course, how your experience was filming the series, and also how does it feel like working with Malia, who is also of a Philippine heritage.
Yes. Okay. First of all, hi.
Hi.
Surprise! I'm actually here. Yeah, the experience of filming Pretty Little Liars was a lot of fun. It's something that you wouldn't necessarily think when you hear the words slasher, horror. Fun? Yes. A lot of it was. I think we were filming this in the middle of a pandemic. I started filming at the end of September. So daily testing was still the norm. Masking up was, well, over here it still is the norm. But over there it was incredibly important because we were all trying to hit deadlines and trying to, get the show completed as much as possible. But I think all of us feel very blessed and fortunate that we got to be a part of this. Everyone is wonderful, and wonderful human beings. And hopefully when you see the first episode, you will feel as passionately as we do that this is something worth investing in as far as our emotions and as far as investing the time to sit and binge and just I'm so excited. I've been excited since I started filming it for people to finally get to see it, and and hopefully you all enjoy it.
That's super interesting to know, Miss Leia. Of course, yes. So we know that you play Elodie, Minnie's mom in the series. Can you share us some similarities between you as, Miss Leia Salonga and Elodie?
The funny thing about Elodie is that once I started really getting to know her by working on the show and reading the scripts and working with everybody, it's like, oh my God, it's my mother. It's yeah. So there are more similarities between Elodie and my own mother than there are between Elodie and myself. It just really was striking. In Elodie's responses to certain things that were going on. I can't spoil anything. In terms of what was happening in the story, what was happening with her, it was like, oh yeah, this is how my mother would respond or react to this. So it was interesting to, to just sit, and after realizing this, I'm like, I've got so much of this relationship to pull from. I have so much of my mother to pull from to create this character. But it also made it really easy. Then I could really focus on, forming a relationship with Malia, who is fantastic and so lovely and so generous and open to vulnerability and a lovely light presence to just be with. Actually, all of the girls are very much like that. And I think the five of them just all really fell in love with one another in the best of ways. And I think their chemistry is very obvious when you see them together. But yeah, so it'll be my mom.
So, Miss Leia, what should we look forward to in the series?
When you can look forward to relationships, very human relationships. I mean, if whatever your relationship is with your own mother or with your father, I think you will be able to find something relatable in any one of the girls, because we see each of their dynamic in each of their relationships. So we get to witness that. And as I was saying, I was doing a whole round of interviews this morning, it makes the horror part, the slasher part, more horrifying. because we're investing in human beings and seeing their vulnerability and and they're not perfect people, that they are all very flawed, very much imperfect, and we see all of that, and them working through all of that. So, I mean, if you're a huge Scream fan, Halloween, Friday the 13th, any of those, if you're into that sort of thing, then I think you will enjoy this. But the added thing to that is there are actual, real, very human relationships in the center of this. Very imperfect human beings that, we get to watch, and then we see that juxtaposed against a slasher film, which makes it fun. And hopefully, I have no idea what this first episode looks like, so I'll get to finally see everything when it drops on HBO Go. And I've invited some friends over to my house, and we're gonna have a viewing party. So it'll be a surprise to all of us, and as much as it will be a surprise to you when you see it today.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. I'm sure we're all even more hyped to watch the show and also the first episode today. Yes, it's gonna be so good. So yes, I would like to ask Miss Leia again for a few words that you might want to leave us before we start watching the show.
Oh my gosh! We've all just been looking forward to showing this off, and we've been looking forward to finally getting the public to see this show. And as has been said, you don't need to have watched all 7 seasons of the original series to jump on this one. It's a totally different set of liars, different set of liars, different town, different circumstances, but because it's on HBO, they can up profanity, blood, and gore, so all of that is much more present. At first I was shocked reading the script, like, oh, the F word is everywhere in this. So, yeah, which I think is much more reflective of the language of teenagers today. I have a teenager, so I know. I live with one. The F-bomb gets dropped quite often. I trained her well. So, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of her. But we really have been so looking forward to people finally getting to see the fruits of our hard work. What we have invested ourselves in, what we spent much of the winter doing in a very, very cold upstate New York. And yeah, we are so proud of what we have been able to put together. I haven't seen it, but I have a feeling you'll all enjoy it.
Thank you very much. That's an amazing speech, Miss Leia Salonga. Again, I would just like to express how proud I am to be a Filipino, and you're a Filipino, and you're part of that show, so that's sort of so amazing, right? Oh, so there's 4 of them, so all the more exciting to watch this show. So yes, right now I would like to ask everyone to smile as we take a group fee or